What if I told you that the reason your clothes fade, lose their softness, shrink, or wear out too quickly has very little to do with your washing machine, and almost everything to do with the habits you've never questioned? Most people think laundry is simply about getting clothes clean, but in Japan, it's something entirely different. Every wash is treated as a way to protect the fabric, preserve quality, and make every piece of clothing last for years instead of months. That's why you rarely see piles of worn-out shirts, stretched sweaters, or faded towels in many Japanese homes. Their secret isn't expensive detergent or high-end appliances. It's the small mistakes they refuse to make. Mistakes that millions of people repeat every single week without realizing they're slowly destroying their favorite clothes, one wash at a time. Today, we're revealing 15 laundry mistakes Japanese people never make. Some of these habits may surprise you, and once you discover them, you'll probably never look at laundry the same way again. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to keep your clothes cleaner, brighter, softer, and looking newer for much longer without spending an extra dollar. And don't miss the number one mistake, because it's something almost everyone does, yet it's one of the fastest ways to ruin perfectly good clothes. If you enjoy discovering the simple Japanese habits that make everyday life cleaner, smarter, and more organized, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments, fresh laundry. Now, let's uncover mistake number 15. 15. Using too much detergent. If you ask most people what makes clothes cleaner, many will answer without hesitation, use more detergent. It sounds logical. More soap should mean more cleaning power, but in Japanese homes, this is one of the biggest laundry mistakes people carefully avoid. Japanese families understand that detergent is designed to work in a specific amount. Once you pour in more than necessary, it doesn't make your clothes cleaner. It creates a completely different problem. Excess detergent often fails to rinse away completely, leaving behind invisible residue trapped deep inside the fabric. Over time, that residue attracts dirt, holds onto sweat, and causes clothes to develop unpleasant odors much faster than before. Ironically, the clothes may come out looking clean, but begin smelling stale after only a few hours of wearing them. This leftover detergent also slowly weakens fabric fibers. Soft cotton becomes stiff, sportswear loses its breathability, towels stop feeling fluffy, and delicate fabrics wear out much sooner than they should. Many people blame poor quality clothing when, in reality, the problem started with pouring too much detergent into every load. In Japan, laundry is approached with precision rather than guesswork. Instead of filling the detergent cap to the top, people measure the amount according to the size of the load, the level of dirt, and the recommendations on both the detergent bottle and the washing machine. They believe that using exactly what is needed protects both the clothing and the machine itself. Another reason for this habit is respect for the environment. Using only the necessary amount means fewer chemicals entering the water system, less waste, and lower household costs. It's a simple reminder that caring for your clothes and caring for nature can go hand in hand. The next time you're tempted to pour in just a little extra, remember this Japanese principle: clean clothes don't come from using more detergent, they come from using the right amount. Sometimes the smallest adjustment is the one that makes your favorite clothes stay brighter, softer, and newer for years. 14. Washing every fabric the same way. One of the quickest ways to ruin perfectly good clothes is to believe that every fabric can survive the exact same wash cycle. Many people throw cotton shirts, delicate blouses, jeans, sweaters, towels, sportswear, and even wool garments into one machine, press the same button, and expect everything to come out in perfect condition. In Japanese homes, this is a mistake people rarely make. Japanese families understand that every fabric has its own personality. Cotton is strong, wool is delicate. Linen wrinkles easily, synthetic sportswear traps odors differently, and silk requires gentle care. Treating them all the same may save a few minutes today, but it slowly shortens the life of every garment in the machine. Think about what happens during a mixed wash. Heavy jeans repeatedly strike lightweight shirts as the drum spins. Thick towels rub against delicate fabrics, creating friction that weakens fibers and causes pilling. Zippers scrape soft materials, while rough seams catch on finer fabrics. Even if nothing looks damaged after one wash, these tiny impacts happen again and again until clothes begin losing their shape, softness, and appearance. This is why many Japanese households sort laundry not only by color, but also by fabric type. Delicate clothing is washed on gentle cycles, heavier fabrics are cleaned separately, and special garments are often placed inside protective mesh laundry bags to reduce unnecessary friction. It's a simple routine that helps clothes keep their original texture, fit, and quality for much longer. Another habit is paying attention to the care label instead of guessing. Rather than assuming every item can handle warm water or a fast spin cycle, they let the garment itself guide how it should be washed. That small moment of attention prevents shrinking, stretching, fading, and permanent damage that cannot be reversed. The Japanese approach reminds us that good laundry isn't about finishing as quickly as possible. It's about giving each piece of clothing the care it deserves. When every fabric is treated according to its needs, instead of your convenience, your wardrobe rewards you by staying cleaner, softer, and looking new year after year. 13. Leaving wet clothes sitting in the washing machine. One laundry habit that Japanese families avoid whenever possible is leaving freshly washed clothes sitting inside the washing machine for hours after the cycle has finished. It may seem harmless. Perhaps you're busy, at work, or simply planning to hang them later. But those extra hours inside a warm, damp machine can quietly undo all the effort you put into washing them. Moisture trapped between layers of fabric creates the perfect environment for bacteria and mildew to begin multiplying. Even though the clothes were just cleaned, they can quickly develop that familiar musty smell that seems impossible to remove. Many people respond by adding more detergent, stronger fabric softener, or scented beads during the next wash, but the real problem isn't the detergent at all. It's the delay in taking the clothes out. In Japanese homes, laundry is often viewed as a complete process rather than a single step. Washing is only the beginning. As soon as the cycle ends, clothes are removed promptly, gently shaken out to reduce wrinkles, and hung with enough space between each item for proper airflow. This simple habit helps fabrics dry evenly, stay fresher, and maintain their natural shape without trapping unpleasant odors. There's another reason this matters. When wet clothes remain compressed in the drum for too long, heavy garments press against lighter ones, creating deep creases that become difficult to remove once dry. Shirts lose their crisp appearance, trousers wrinkle more easily, and delicate fabrics can stretch under the weight of water-soaked clothing resting on top of them. Japanese households also understand that a clean washing machine depends on this habit. Leaving wet laundry inside keeps the drum damp for much longer, encouraging mold and bacteria to grow inside the machine itself. Over time, that hidden buildup can transfer unpleasant odors back onto every future load, no matter how expensive the detergent is. The Japanese philosophy is beautifully simple. Once your clothes are clean, let them breathe. Removing them promptly protects their freshness, preserves their shape, and keeps both your clothing and your washing machine cleaner for years to come. Sometimes, the difference between clothes that smell fresh all day and clothes that smell stale by lunchtime is nothing more than taking them out of the machine on time. 12. Overloading the washing machine. It can be tempting to stuff as many clothes as possible into the washing machine. After all, it seems like the fastest way to finish laundry, save water, and avoid running another cycle. But in many Japanese homes, this is considered one of the most damaging laundry habits of all. They know that when a washing machine is overloaded, it doesn't truly wash clothes, it simply moves a heavy bundle of fabric around. Every piece of clothing needs room to move freely through the water. As the drum turns, water and detergent must flow between the fibers to lift away sweat, dust, body oils, and everyday dirt. When the machine is packed too tightly, that movement is restricted. Clothes rub against each other instead of being properly cleaned, leaving some garments with hidden dirt, while others come out with detergent residue still trapped inside the fabric. Overloading also creates unnecessary friction. Heavy jeans crush delicate shirts, towels press against lightweight fabrics, and every spin causes garments to scrape against one another with extra force. Over time, this repeated rubbing fades colors, stretches collars, weakens seams, and causes fabric to lose its smooth appearance much sooner than expected. Japanese households often follow a simple rule: never fill the drum completely. Instead, they leave enough empty space for the laundry to tumble naturally. That extra space allows water to circulate evenly, detergent to work effectively, and clothes to rinse thoroughly without excessive wear. It may require one additional load, but it greatly extends the life of every garment. There is another benefit that many people overlook, An overloaded washing machine places far more strain on the motor, bearings, and suspension system. The machine has to work harder during every wash and spin cycle, which can shorten its lifespan and increase the chances of costly repairs. By protecting their washing machine, Japanese families are also protecting their investment. The Japanese philosophy teaches that efficiency isn't about squeezing everything into one load. It's about achieving the best result with the least amount of waste and damage. A washing machine that isn't overcrowded cleans more deeply, treats fabrics more gently, and helps your favorite clothes keep their color, shape, and softness for many years. Sometimes, washing a little less at once is the smartest way to make everything last much longer. 11. Ignoring the care label. For many people, the small tag sewn inside a shirt, jacket, or sweater is nothing more than an annoying piece of fabric that gets cut off the moment they buy new clothes. But in Japan, those tiny symbols are treated as valuable instructions, not useless labels. Ignoring them is considered one of the easiest ways to ruin perfectly good clothing. Every garment is designed with a specific fabric, stitching method, and finish. The care label tells you exactly how that item should be washed, dried, and cared for. Yet, millions of people never look at it. They wash every piece of clothing using the same temperature, the same spin speed, and the same drying method, believing all fabrics can handle the same treatment. Unfortunately, clothes don't all respond the same way. A delicate sweater washed on a heavy cycle may lose its shape forever. A favorite cotton shirt can shrink after just one hot wash. Dark fabrics may fade much faster than expected, while certain materials become rough, stiff, or stretched simply because they were dried incorrectly. Many people think their clothes are poor quality when, in reality, they were damaged by being cared for the wrong way. Japanese households believe that taking just a few seconds to read the care label can prevent years of unnecessary wear. Before washing a new garment for the first time, they check whether it should be washed in cold water, cleaned on a gentle cycle, placed inside a laundry bag, air-dried, or kept away from high heat. Those simple decisions protect the color, texture, and fit of the clothing far better than any expensive detergent ever could. This habit also reflects a deeper Japanese value: respect for the things you own. Instead of treating clothing as something disposable, they see each garment as something worth preserving. A well-made shirt, coat, or sweater deserves proper care, because replacing it should never be easier than protecting it. The next time you buy something new, resist the urge to tear off that small tag without looking at it. Those tiny symbols are actually the clothing's own instruction manual. By following them, you give every garment the best chance to stay soft, comfortable, and looking almost new for many years. Sometimes, the smallest label carries the biggest secret to making your wardrobe last. 10. Washing clothes in water that's too hot. Many people believe that hotter water automatically means cleaner clothes. It feels logical. If hot water can remove grease from dishes, surely it must do an even better job on clothing. But in many Japanese homes, using unnecessarily hot water is a laundry mistake they carefully avoid, because they understand that heat can be one of fabric's biggest enemies. Every time clothes are exposed to high temperatures, the fibers experience stress. Cotton can shrink, elastic materials lose their stretch, printed designs begin to crack, and delicate fabrics become weaker with every wash. At first, the damage is almost invisible. But after weeks and months, shirts no longer fit the same way. Sweaters lose their shape, and colors slowly fade until favorite clothes look years older than they really are. Japanese families know that modern detergents are designed to work extremely well in cold or cool water. Instead of relying on heat, they rely on the detergent itself and the correct wash cycle to remove dirt, sweat, and everyday stains. Unless clothing is heavily soiled or the care label specifically recommends warm water, cooler temperatures are usually enough to achieve excellent results while protecting the fabric. Another reason they avoid excessive heat is color preservation. Bright shirts stay vibrant, black clothing keeps its deep color, and patterned fabrics remain crisp for much longer when washed in cooler water. Hot water often causes dye to bleed more quickly, making clothes look faded long before their time. This habit also saves energy. Heating water is one of the largest sources of electricity consumption during laundry. By choosing cooler wash temperatures whenever possible, Japanese households reduce energy use, lower utility bills, and lessen their environmental impact without sacrificing cleanliness. It's a small decision that benefits both the home and the planet. The Japanese philosophy reminds us that cleaning isn't about using the strongest setting available. It's about using the gentlest method that still gets the job done. When you wash your clothes with the right water temperature instead of the hottest one, you protect their color, preserve their shape, and help every garment last far longer than you ever expected. Sometimes keeping clothes looking new isn't about doing more, it's about knowing when less is better. 9. Mixing light and dark clothes together. It might seem like a small shortcut, but throwing white shirts, light-colored towels, black jeans, colorful sweaters, and bright clothing into the same wash is a mistake Japanese families rarely make. While it saves a few minutes today, it often creates problems that can permanently change the appearance of your clothes. Every time dark fabrics are washed, tiny amounts of dye are released into the water. Even brand new clothes that look perfectly color-fast can lose a little color during the first several washes. When light-colored garments are mixed into that same load, those loose dye particles can settle into lighter fabrics, leaving whites looking dull, cream-colored shirts appearing gray, and pale clothing gradually losing the bright, clean look it once had. The damage usually happens so slowly that many people never notice it. They simply assume their favorite white t-shirt is getting old, or that their towels naturally become darker over time. In reality, years of mixed color washing quietly rob fabrics of their original brightness, one laundry load at a time. Japanese households avoid this by sorting laundry before the washing machine is even turned on. White clothes are washed together, light colors are grouped separately, dark garments have their own load, and brand new clothing, especially dark jeans, jackets, or brightly colored shirts, is often washed separately for the first few cycles to prevent dye from spreading onto other fabrics. This careful sorting doesn't only protect colors, it also helps clothing keep a fresh, polished appearance for much longer. A crisp white shirt stays truly white, soft pastel fabrics remain vibrant, and black clothing retains its rich, deep color instead of becoming faded and uneven after repeated washes. There's another hidden advantage. When similar colors are washed together, people can choose the most suitable detergent and wash settings for that group of clothing without worrying about color transfer. The entire load receives more consistent care, leading to better cleaning and longer-lasting fabrics. The Japanese philosophy teaches that preserving what you already own is often wiser than replacing it later. Taking just a few extra minutes to separate your laundry before washing can save your favorite clothes from permanent discoloration, helping them stay brighter, cleaner, and looking almost new for years. Sometimes the simplest habit makes the biggest difference in how your wardrobe looks every single day. 8. Drying every piece of clothing in a hot dryer. For many people, the dryer is the final step of doing laundry. Clothes go in wet and come out dry, warm, and ready to wear. It feels convenient, especially on busy days. But in many Japanese homes, relying on high heat drying for every load is a mistake they deliberately avoid, because they know that the dryer can quietly shorten the life of almost every garment. Heat is one of the biggest enemies of fabric. Every time clothing is exposed to high temperatures, tiny fibers begin to weaken. Elastic waistbands lose their stretch, cotton shirts gradually shrink, printed designs start cracking, and delicate materials become thinner and rougher with each drying cycle. The damage doesn't happen overnight, but after dozens of washes, favorite clothes no longer fit the same way or feel as comfortable as they once did. This is one reason why you'll often see clothes carefully hanging to dry outside homes and apartment balconies across Japan. Instead of rushing the process, Japanese families allow fresh air and natural circulation to do most of the work. Shirts are hung neatly on hangers to keep their shape. Trousers are clipped evenly to prevent wrinkles, and sweaters are often laid flat so they don't stretch under their own weight. These small habits preserve the fabric while also reducing the need for ironing later. Another advantage of air drying is that it helps fabrics maintain their original texture. Towels stay absorbent, linen keeps its natural feel, sportswear retains its performance, and delicate clothing lasts significantly longer. Even colors benefit because they're not repeatedly exposed to intense heat that can accelerate fading. Japanese households also see this as a practical way to reduce energy consumption. Every load that dries naturally saves electricity and places less strain on the dryer itself. It's another example of a simple daily habit that protects both the household budget and the environment without sacrificing quality. Of course, there are times when using a dryer is necessary, especially during rainy seasons or cold weather, but even then, many Japanese families choose lower heat settings or remove clothes while they're still slightly damp to finish drying naturally. This reduces stress on the fabric while still providing the convenience of machine drying. The Japanese philosophy reminds us that patience often protects what speed destroys. When you stop treating every garment as if it belongs in a hot dryer, your clothes reward you by staying softer, fitting better, and looking newer for years instead of seasons. Sometimes, giving your clothes a little more time is the best way to give them a much longer life. 7. Forgetting to empty pockets before washing. It only takes a few seconds to check the pockets of your clothes before putting them into the washing machine, yet millions of people skip this simple habit every single week. In many Japanese homes, however, checking every pocket is considered an essential part of doing laundry because they know that one forgotten item can damage an entire load. Think about everything that ends up in pockets during a normal day. Coins, tissues, receipts, pens, keys, earbuds, lip balm, hairpins, chewing gum, and even small electronics are often forgotten until it's too late. Once the washing machine starts spinning, those tiny objects become unexpected hazards. A single paper tissue can break apart into hundreds of tiny fibers that cling to every shirt, sweater, and pair of trousers in the machine. Removing those bits of paper afterward can take longer than the wash itself. A forgotten pen can leak ink, permanently staining an entire load of clothing. Coins, keys, or other hard objects repeatedly strike the drum and fabric during the spin cycle, leaving scratches, weakened seams, and sometimes even damaging the washing machine itself. Japanese families avoid these problems by following a simple routine before every wash. As each garment is placed into the laundry basket, pockets are checked and completely emptied. It becomes such a natural habit that it takes only a few extra seconds, yet it prevents hours of frustration and protects both the clothes and the appliance. Many households also use this moment to prepare garments properly. Zippers are closed to prevent them from catching delicate fabrics, buttons are fastened on certain clothing to help garments keep their shape, and belts or removable accessories are taken off before washing begins. These small preparations may seem insignificant, but together they greatly reduce unnecessary wear. This careful attention reflects a broader Japanese mindset. Preventing problems is always easier than fixing them later. Instead of dealing with ink stains, torn fabrics, damaged washing machines, or lint-covered clothing after the wash, they eliminate the risk before the machine is even turned on. The Japanese philosophy reminds us that lasting care often begins with the smallest habits. Before every load, take a moment to check every pocket. Those few extra seconds can save your favorite clothes, protect your washing machine, and prevent mistakes that no detergent or stain remover can ever fully undo. Sometimes the smartest laundry habit isn't what happens during the wash, it's what happens just before it begins. 6. Skipping laundry bags for delicate clothes. One of the quiet secrets behind why clothes in many Japanese homes continue looking fresh and well kept for years is surprisingly simple. They protect delicate garments before the wash even begins. While many people toss everything directly into the washing machine, Japanese families rarely make that mistake. Instead, they often place delicate clothing inside mesh laundry bags, giving each item an extra layer of protection during every wash. At first glance, a washing machine seems gentle enough, but inside the spinning drum, clothes constantly rub, twist, stretch, and collide with one another. Heavy jeans strike lightweight shirts, metal zippers scrape soft fabrics, buttons catch on loose threads, and delicate lace or knitwear can become tangled in seconds. Every wash may only cause a tiny amount of damage, but over months and years, those small impacts slowly destroy the beauty of your favorite clothes. This is especially true for garments made from silk, lace, wool, linen blends, activewear, underwear, and clothing with embroidery or printed designs. Without protection, these fabrics can lose their shape, develop small tears, stretch at the seams, or begin forming fuzzy fabric balls known as pilling. Many people believe these changes are simply signs of aging, but often they're the result of repeated washing without proper protection. Japanese households treat these garments differently. Before the machine starts, delicate items are carefully folded or placed inside breathable mesh laundry bags. The bags allow water and detergent to flow freely through the fabric while reducing friction, twisting, and unnecessary stretching. The clothes are still cleaned thoroughly, but they avoid much of the physical stress caused by direct contact with heavier items. Another benefit is organization. Socks stay paired, small baby clothes don't disappear among larger garments, and delicate items are much easier to remove from the washing machine without being tangled in sleeves or pant legs. It's a simple habit that makes the entire laundry process calmer and more efficient. This reflects a deeper Japanese belief that prevention is always better than repair. Rather than trying to fix stretched sweaters, replace torn lace, or remove damaged fabric pills later, they protect their clothing before the damage ever has a chance to happen. The Japanese philosophy teaches that caring for your belongings begins long before they wear out. A simple mesh laundry bag may seem like a small accessory, but it quietly adds years to the life of your most delicate clothes. Sometimes preserving quality isn't about buying better clothing, it's about protecting the clothing you already have every single time you wash it. 5. Rubbing stains aggressively. When a stain appears on a favorite shirt, the natural reaction is often to attack it immediately. People pour detergent directly onto the mark, scrub it with a brush, rub the fabric between their hands, and keep applying pressure until the stain begins to fade. It feels like the harder you scrub, the faster the stain should disappear. But in many Japanese homes, aggressive rubbing is considered a serious laundry mistake because it can damage the clothing more permanently than the stain itself. Fabric is made from thousands of tiny fibers woven closely together. When those fibers are rubbed harshly, they begin to weaken, separate, and lose their smooth surface. The stained area may become rough, faded, stretched, or noticeably thinner than the rest of the garment. On dark clothing, hard scrubbing can remove color and leave behind a pale patch that remains visible even after the original stain is gone. Aggressive rubbing can also push the stain deeper into the material. Instead of lifting oil, food, makeup, or dirt away from the surface, strong pressure spreads it into a wider area and forces it between the fibers. By the time the garment enters the washing machine, a small mark may have become a larger and more stubborn problem. Japanese families usually respond with patience rather than force. They begin by checking the type of stain and the garment's care label. Excess liquid or food is gently lifted away without smearing it. Then a suitable stain treatment or small amount of detergent is applied, and the fabric is lightly pressed or tapped from the outside of the stain toward the center. This prevents the mark from spreading while giving the cleaning solution time to loosen it. They also understand the importance of treating stains quickly. A fresh stain is usually much easier to remove than one that has dried and settled into the fabric. But acting quickly does not mean acting violently. It means using the correct method before the stain becomes permanent. Another careful habit is testing any cleaning product on a hidden section of the garment first. A strong stain remover might remove the mark, but it can also bleach the color or damage delicate material. Testing it prevents a small problem from turning into an irreversible one. This habit reflects an important Japanese principle. Gentle care is often more powerful than force. When a stain appears, do not punish the fabric for becoming dirty. Treat it calmly, work carefully, and give the cleaning product time to do its job. A stain can often be removed, but fibers destroyed by aggressive scrubbing may never return to their original condition. 4. Using fabric softener on everything. For many people, fabric softener feels like the finishing touch to perfect laundry. A generous splash promises softer clothes, a pleasant fragrance, and a feeling of freshness that lasts all day. Because of that, countless households pour fabric softener into every single load without giving it a second thought. But in many Japanese homes, this is a mistake they carefully avoid. They understand that not every fabric benefits from fabric softener, and using it on everything can actually shorten the life and performance of many garments. Fabric softener works by coating fibers with a thin layer that reduces friction and makes fabrics feel smoother to the touch. While this can be helpful for certain cotton garments or bed linens, that same coating can become a problem for other types of clothing. Sportswear, moisture-wicking shirts, microfiber towels, cleaning cloths, and performance fabrics are all designed to absorb moisture or allow air to pass through the fibers. When those fibers become coated with softener, they gradually lose the very qualities they were made for. Many people notice that towels stop absorbing water as well as they used to. Athletic clothing begins trapping sweat instead of moving it away from the body. Microfiber cloths become less effective at cleaning glass and household surfaces. The first instinct is often to replace these items, believing they've simply worn out. In reality, years of unnecessary fabric softener may be the hidden reason they no longer perform properly. Japanese families take a more thoughtful approach. Instead of making fabric softener an automatic part of every wash, they decide whether a particular load actually needs it. Soft cotton pajamas or bed sheets may receive a small amount, while towels, sportswear, technical fabrics, baby clothing, and microfiber items are often washed without it. They believe every fabric should be cared for according to its purpose, rather than following the same routine for everything. Another reason they use fabric softener sparingly is that too much can leave behind a buildup that traps body oils, detergent residue, and odors inside the fabric. Clothes may smell pleasant immediately after washing, but after a few hours of wear, the hidden buildup can cause unpleasant odors to return much more quickly. The solution isn't adding even more fragrance, it's avoiding unnecessary buildup in the first place. This careful habit also saves money and reduces the amount of chemicals entering the environment. Instead of believing that more products always produce better results, Japanese households focus on using only what truly improves the clothing. The Japanese philosophy reminds us that good laundry isn't about adding more products, it's about understanding what each fabric actually needs. When you stop treating every garment the same, your towels stay absorbent, your sportswear performs better, and your clothes remain fresh, comfortable, and durable for far longer. Sometimes, the smartest laundry habit is knowing when to leave something out. 3. Hanging clothes in direct sunlight for too long. Sunlight feels natural, fresh, and free. Many people believe that the longer clothes stay under the hot sun, the cleaner and fresher they become. In fact, it's common to leave laundry outside all afternoon without thinking twice. But in many Japanese homes, this is one laundry mistake people carefully avoid. While fresh air is welcomed, excessive direct sunlight is not. The sun may dry your clothes, but its powerful ultraviolet rays slowly break down fabric fibers every single time they're exposed for long periods. At first, the changes are almost impossible to notice. Then, after months of repeated exposure, bright colors begin to fade. Black clothing loses its rich tone, white fabrics develop a dull appearance, and soft materials become rough and brittle. Many people assume their clothes are simply getting old, when in reality they have been slowly damaged by too much sunlight. Natural fabrics such as cotton and linen are especially vulnerable. Delicate materials can become thinner and weaker, making them more likely to tear. Elastic waistbands and stretchy fabrics also suffer because constant heat gradually reduces their flexibility. Even printed designs and embroidered patterns may crack or lose their sharp appearance after repeated exposure to strong afternoon sunlight. Japanese families have developed simple habits to prevent this unnecessary damage. Instead of hanging clothes outside during the hottest part of the day, many choose the cooler morning hours or shaded areas with good airflow. Clothes are allowed to dry naturally with the help of moving air, rather than depending entirely on intense sunlight. Another clever habit is turning garments inside out before hanging them. This protects the visible outer surface from direct sunlight while still allowing the clothing to dry completely. Dark shirts, jeans, printed t-shirts, school uniforms, and colorful garments keep their appearance much longer because the side exposed to the sun is the inside rather than the outside. In Japan, you'll also notice that clothing is hung neatly with space between each item. Good air circulation speeds up drying without requiring hours of harsh sunlight. This thoughtful balance allows garments to dry efficiently while preserving their color, softness, and strength. The Japanese philosophy is not about avoiding nature, it's about working with it wisely. Sunlight is wonderful in moderation, but too much of it can quietly steal years from your favorite clothes. By choosing shade, gentle airflow, and shorter drying times, you protect the beauty of every garment while still enjoying the freshness that outdoor drying provides. Sometimes lasting quality comes not from more sunshine, but from knowing exactly how much is enough. 2. Never cleaning the washing machine. It sounds strange, doesn't it? A machine that washes clothes should already be clean. After all, it's constantly filled with water, detergent, and soap. But this is one of the biggest misconceptions about laundry, and it's a mistake Japanese families rarely make. They understand that even the cleanest looking washing machine can slowly become one of the dirtiest places in the home if it's never cleaned. Every wash leaves behind tiny traces of detergent, fabric softener, body oils, dirt, lint, hair, and minerals from the water. Most of it disappears down the drain, but not all of it. Small amounts gradually build up inside the drum, around the rubber door seal, inside detergent compartments, and deep within places you can't even see. Over weeks and months, that hidden buildup becomes the perfect environment for mold, mildew, bacteria, and unpleasant odors. Many people notice that their freshly washed clothes no longer smell truly fresh. They may even come out with a damp or musty odor, despite using expensive detergent or scented fabric softener. The natural reaction is to use even more detergent, stronger fragrances, or extra rinse cycles. But the real source of the smell is often the washing machine itself, quietly transferring those odors back onto every load. Japanese households prevent this problem through regular maintenance. They understand that a washing machine deserves the same care as any other household appliance. Many families run a dedicated cleaning cycle every month, using a washing machine cleaner or a suitable cleaning product recommended by the manufacturer. They also wipe the rubber seals, clean the detergent drawer, remove lint from filters, and leave the washing machine door slightly open after every wash so moisture can escape instead of becoming trapped inside. This final habit may seem incredibly simple, yet it makes a huge difference. A closed washing machine stays dark and damp for hours, creating ideal conditions for mold to grow. By allowing fresh air to circulate through the empty drum, the inside dries much faster, greatly reducing unwanted bacteria and unpleasant smells. Japanese families also know that a clean washing machine protects their clothes. When the machine itself is free from hidden residue, detergent works more effectively, rinsing becomes cleaner, and fabrics stay fresher without absorbing unwanted odors. At the same time, regular cleaning reduces wear on the appliance, helping it operate more efficiently and often extending its lifespan. The Japanese philosophy reminds us that clean clothes begin with a clean machine. If the appliance doing the cleaning is neglected, no detergent in the world can produce truly fresh laundry. Sometimes, the secret to brighter, softer, better-smelling clothes isn't changing what you wash with. It's taking better care of the machine that washes them. 1. Treating clothes as disposable instead of taking care of them. This is the biggest laundry mistake of all, and it goes far beyond detergent, washing machines, or drying methods. It is a way of thinking. In many parts of the world, clothing is often treated as something temporary. When colors fade, we buy another shirt. When a sweater stretches, we replace it. When towels become rough or clothes lose their shape, we simply assume it's time to shop again. But in Japan, many people follow a completely different philosophy, one that has quietly allowed them to keep their clothes looking beautiful for years. Japanese culture has a deep respect for possessions. Every garment is seen as something that deserves care because time, materials, craftsmanship, and resources went into creating it. Instead of asking, "How long will this shirt last?" they ask, "How can I help this shirt last as long as possible?" That single change in mindset influences every step of the laundry process. This is why Japanese families separate fabrics carefully, measure detergent instead of guessing, avoid overloading the machine, protect delicate clothing with laundry bags, remove stains gently, dry garments with care, clean the washing machine regularly, and always pay attention to the small details that others often ignore. None of these habits are difficult on their own, but together they create a routine that preserves clothing for years instead of months. This philosophy doesn't only save money, it also reduces unnecessary waste. Every piece of clothing that lasts longer means fewer garments thrown away, fewer new clothes that need to be manufactured, less water and energy used in production, and a smaller impact on the environment. Caring for your wardrobe becomes a quiet way of caring for the world around you. There's another benefit that many people never consider. When your clothes stay clean, soft, well-shaped, and fresh, you naturally feel more confident wearing them. You don't need an expensive wardrobe filled with brand new outfits. A smaller collection of well-maintained clothing often looks far better than a large closet full of worn-out garments. Quality comes not only from what you buy, but from how you care for what you already own. This reflects the Japanese concept of appreciating everyday things instead of constantly replacing them. A simple shirt is no longer just another piece of fabric. It becomes something worthy of respect because it serves you every single day. When you care for your belongings, they continue taking care of you. And perhaps that's the greatest lesson hidden behind every laundry habit we've explored today. Japanese people don't protect their clothes because they're afraid of buying new ones. They protect them because they value what they already have. So before you start your next load of laundry, remember this one simple truth. Washing clothes isn't just about removing dirt. It's about preserving something valuable. When you stop treating your wardrobe as disposable and start caring for every garment with intention, your clothes stay brighter, softer, stronger, and more beautiful for years. In the end, the biggest laundry secret isn't found in a bottle of detergent or a new washing machine. It's found in the mindset you bring every time you do the laundry. So, after counting down all 15 laundry mistakes Japanese people never make, you may have noticed something surprising. None of these habits require expensive appliances, luxury detergents, or complicated techniques. They are simply small, thoughtful decisions repeated over time. And that is exactly what makes them so powerful. In Japan, laundry is more than just another household chore. It is an act of respect. Respect for your clothes, your home, your money, and even the environment. Every carefully measured scoop of detergent, every garment turned inside out, every laundry bag, every cleaned washing machine, and every shirt hung with care reflects a simple belief: the things that serve us every day deserve to be looked after. Imagine opening your wardrobe 6 months from now and finding your favorite clothes still soft, vibrant, perfectly shaped, and smelling fresh, as if they were almost new. That isn't luck. It's the result of small habits that anyone can start today. So before your next load of laundry, ask yourself one simple question. Which of these 15 mistakes have I been making without even realizing it? Sometimes changing just one habit can completely transform the life of your clothes. If you found even one tip helpful today, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone who always complains that their clothes fade, shrink, or wear out too quickly. They'll probably thank you for it. And if you enjoy discovering the timeless wisdom behind Japanese daily life, simple living, and practical habits that truly make a difference, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. We share new Japanese secrets every week that can help you save money, protect your health, and improve your everyday life. Finally, we'd love to hear from you. Comment below, which of these 15 laundry mistakes surprised you the most, and which Japanese habit will you start using from today? Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care of your home, take care of your belongings, and they'll continue taking care of you. See you in the next video.